Yo, my peoples, what's up? Welcome to the One Stop Co-op Shop. Jason here. Today I have a solo playthrough for The Four Doors. This one is a fully cooperative game for 1 to 4 players in which you are playing an adventurer trying to escape from a tower. It has hand management. You'll be using your cards to beat back the shadow, collecting sets, and trying to get to the escape before the shadow claims your tower. Designed by Matt Leacock of Pandemic and Forbidden Island fame. I mention that because this is basically Pandemic, the card game, so it has a lot of the core concepts, the short-term, long-term, set collection, hand management that Pandemic does. Paired up with veteran card game designers Ben Pinchback and Matt Riddle, who have paired up to give you this crisis management game with a lot of hand management, but that distills the experience down to about 20 to 30 minutes. So let's get going with a full playthrough and review at the end of The Four Doors after these channel announcements. We are the One Stop Co-op Shop, a multi-platform gaming empire, and your one stop for solo and cooperative gaming goodness. One of the main draws of The Four Doors is that it comes in a really small, inexpensive package, so you're getting a lot of bang for your buck. The main way that it accomplishes it is that, like in a Pandemic or Forbidden game, you do have a hand of cards. You have to collect your sets. The hand of cards doubles as the threat, though. So I've laid out my 4 central doors, and you notice I have some cards along the side. This represents the growing shadow. On the bottom, there's going to be a symbol, and that symbol will determine where the card goes when that enemy phase happens. So this is much more of a hand management, card management style game. The actions are really simple. You get 3 of them per turn. So I have my adventurer over here. One move is to move one door along the way. You can only move on this central row. The cards are multi-use. So in this solo game I'm playing, I start with a hand of 4 cards. The most important part to know for beating back the shadow are the symbols up on the upper left-hand corner. You match the symbol of whatever door that you're in. So I go ahead and discard that card for an action, and I can get rid of one of these cards that are on the side over here. You can discard any card that you want to. You don't have to go in order, so there might be a card that you want to put in your own discard that shows up later. So if I were to use that action, discard this lantern card to do what the game calls illuminate, I can choose to discard this top card, or if I want to summon later, then I can put that one in the discard as well. You're definitely going to want to do that, especially when the shadow grows to 3 shadows over here. If a 4th were to be added, then the card would actually get removed from the game, which is a terrible thing. And then the door would start to close. And then if it happens again, then I have to take this away and collapse the tower. That's not a good thing for many, many reasons. So let's just say whenever I see a pile of 3 doors, that is a priority. I need to get my buns over there and take care of it. So we have the 2 moves, move and illuminate, get rid of a shadow card. I can also draw a card. I am going to be able to draw cards at the end of my turn. However, I do need to create my set, so sometimes I just have to draw a card to try to get that set going. That's not a very good thing because there is a mismatch. There are 4 colors. I'm trying to collect sets of 4 colors. So let me go ahead and try that again. Good Lord. Anyone who's played Pandemic knows that rainbow is not going to take you where you need to be. But let's say it's a little bit progressed in my turn and my hand management was a little bit more successful. Once I get 4 cards of a color, then I would try to arrive at that color matching door, discard these cards, and then that would get me some kind of reward. So I need to claim all 4 of these rewards in order to escape from the tower. Because those cards are now useless for actually collecting the set, that gives you a special power. I know this nice foil card over here. Just go ahead and read that power so you get a little bit more powerful as you go on. So one of the lose conditions is you lose an entire door. That means the shadow strikes one of the doors twice before you have claimed the relic. That is a loss. At the end of every turn, you consult this card to see how many shadows cards that you draw. So as in any Forbidden game, this is going to get worse as the game goes. Whenever the deck runs out of cards, you progress this one. If you want to make the game harder, then start at one of the more advanced spots. And here is the hollow where removed cards are going to be in the game, mostly event cards, but also some of the other cards from other effects as well. But let's say I'm able to claim all 4 of my relics. Once all the players are at the lighthouse, then one player would need to play the Luminous Flux card, which is the escape card. So that's basically it. Manage your doors. Manage your cards. Don't run out of cards. Try to get all 4 of the relics, get everybody to the lighthouse, and play that Luminous Flux card. And that is the full basic experience of the 4 doors. So let me go ahead and do a playthrough where I'll demonstrate some of the card powers and the player powers. I'll also do a solo game. Now, what's great about a solo game is you do have the one character. However, in these kind of games, it's usually kind of locked out in one role. You're doing one thing. What 4 doors allows you to do is, for one action, look into the rest of the character pile and switch your character. So if you are stuck on cards, then you can switch to a card gathering person that can pull out a discard or pull out of the exiled pile, which is the hollow. Or if I am overwhelmed by shadow, I can switch to the medic type character that can deal with these shadows much more efficiently. So it gives you an extra layer of strategy to consider that is unique to this game. All right, let's go ahead and get into the playthrough. All right, so we are ready to begin. I have dealt out my 9 shadow cards to begin, and there's always going to be a problem spot, at least in most of the games that I've played. That will be a nice fat problem spot right there, so I'm going to want to address that. I have chosen the Shadow Binder, at least to start. That is the medic character. When you illuminate, discard 3 shadow cards from a single side of your current door. So I have drawn my 4 cards, and I happen to have the cards that I need to really get going. This is a power card. It is Summon. Toss it into the hollow, which is the exile pile right there, which means remove from the game to retrieve a card, but I don't need that right now. This is a card that I want for later. So it's an excellent card to just kind of get rid of and discard to accomplish something. I am at the purple. There's a purple lantern, so I'm going to get rid of these 2 cards because the Shadow Binder is awesome. Next move, I'm going to go down here, and I'll toss this green one over here to get rid of all of these cards. Now I am going to try to change characters next turn because I have a bit of a buffer, unless yellow decides to get froggy. We'll see what happens. So that is 3 actions. I have these cards in my hand. I'm looking for matches. Some kind of match. We have a teleport. That's not going to match anything. And a purple. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to be working on purple as much as I can. And then from the same deck, which is a really clever little thing that the game does, you pull 2 more cards. Yeah. Wow. That was... Oh, were you kidding me? No way. So there's the hollow right here. This card does not get put in the regular pile. It actually gets the exile pile. I'm not going to see that card again unless I use that summon spell. Boy, that is a really bad start. And this doesn't disappear. So I have to deal with it this turn. Luckily, I do have a yellow lantern that is not part of my set, so I shouldn't be discarding this purple. Instead, I'm not going to be working on green. So let me go ahead. First of all, I'm going to use teleport. Teleport is toss into the hollow to move any one pawn anywhere. So, tossing cards into the hollow isn't awesome, but I want to be able to take care of things, clear the board, get that character change, and start to mine for cards. So kind of weighing things. So let's go ahead and discard that card to get rid of all 3 of these cards. So now I only have 2 cards in my hand. 5 card maximum, so it's good to have not that many cards, just the ones you need, and a nice clear board. So for my third action, I'm going to switch adventurers. Now, the wrinkle on switching adventurers is I have to be at their starting door. So the purple character starts at the purple door, which you saw at the beginning of the game. I'm going to swap into the summoner. I don't have to change the color of my pawn, but why not? That's totally fine. But I have to do that at the green door. So let's hold off on that one turn. And then we're going to end our turn at green and then turn into the summoner next turn. So the board is nice and calm. I was just... No way. Are you kidding me? This game hates me. So I apologize for that. I was a little bit late in flipping this card when I got the 4th yellow. So I went ahead and flipped that now. There's only 1 red that is left in the deck, and there's a lot of cards left. So flipping the door once is not a problem. And also, in my hand right now, I don't have any red lanterns, so I couldn't even deal with that if I wanted to. So I'm just going to have to let it ride for a couple turns and see what happens. That is just funny that it's just attacking me exactly where I'm soft. Anyway, so first action, I'm going to do that swap. Let's go ahead and get myself the summoner out, and I'll swap the pawn just for illustration purposes. Summoner's power is, as an action, draw any one card from the discard pile whose shadow area matches your current door. Beautiful. All right, so that was one action. This is two actions right there. And this is the discard pile. I knew when this guy went, or when I went earlier in the turn, I had put two of these into the discard pile. So I'm going to go ahead and draw one for my third and final action of the turn. And the next turn, I'll be able to get the fourth one and then do the cure, so to speak, which is claim one of the relics. All right, so that's my hand at 3. I'm going to draw 2, so that works out perfectly. So let me go ahead and draw these 2 cards. All right, teleport, useful. Shadowbind, probably perfect. Toss into the hollow to put 2 shadow cards from one door into the hollow. Perfect. You know exactly what that is happening. However, that means that they're tossed into the hollow, not the discard. So I have to be really careful. And I also have to not toss this. Actually, you know what? There's 4 of these. I only need 1 to survive. And probably increasing my odds to get these candles is a good thing. So let me go ahead and toss 1 luminous flux and 1 candle into the hollow. I'm not going to see them again this game unless I play a summon card. But this relieves the pressure right down here. So now I've cleared the way. We have 3 cards or 4 cards in my hand right now. Let's go ahead and draw out of the discard pile. I got 4. As an action, let's go ahead and claim a relic. The relic is the Prism of Clarity. So from now on, I may discard one of those cards. These purple cards, which are now useless except for the one on top, but this symbol doesn't do anything for me, aside from this Prism of Clarity power. Discard a purple card at any time, to pass 1 card from your hand, or in solo, discard 1 purple card to do +1 action. So I get a free action whenever I have a purple card, which is really, really useful. So I don't know what I'm working on next because I don't have any cards in my hands. Let's go ahead and pull 1 for my last action for the turn. That is a yellow. And then I'm going to pull my 2 for ending the turn. The rainbow. That's not good. And let's put cards down here. We have 1 purple and 1 green. All right, still the summoner, still rocking the discard pile. So, okay, so first of all, this teleport, useful, but I think I just want to keep the board clear and tame. So let's go ahead and get rid of that telekinesis card. Show you what that does later. Let's move over here. The summoner has to be on a specific door in order to claim a card of that color. So I'm going to go ahead and mill the discard. There are 2 green cards in here. So let me go ahead and fish 1 back up and begin another set. And also, this is a purple card. So I can discard this to do another action. Okay, I'll do that. I'm going to discard this and do another action. And I'm going to take this lantern card and get rid of this, again, to stay ahead of the curve on the shadow. And also, this puts this card in the discard. So next turn, I can pick it up with my summoner power. Fantastic. So let's say we got that. We got a red. That's not bad. And a green. Wow, that's a little bit of action economy. I'll take it. And with just my luck, I'm going to get 2 in the same door. Please don't be another red shadow. It is a green shadow. I'll take that. So let's go ahead, use our summoner power again. Man, that is so good. Milling that discard pile. We got 1 and we got 2. Get rid of those 4 cards and pick up the Kindle Staff. So what do green cards do for me now? As an action, I might discard a torch card of any to discard 1 shadow card from any 1 door. So a little bit more flexibility in the doors that I can get rid of. As you can see, as you go on, the players get more powerful. In multiplayer, usually that 1 person has each of the staff. In solo, I enjoy them all. So I have another action. Just going to abuse this summoner power, and I'm going to take a staff. The reason being is because I have the relic now. So I can, if I get stuck, use that staff to get rid of a door somewhere. Let's go ahead and, oh, look at that. What? Oh my God. Are you kidding me? This is getting really unlucky. So that is going into the hollow pile. Wow. Do I have 2 red candles in the hollow pile? There is more than 4. So I'm okay there. But man, I am absolutely tempting fate. So that door is going to close up a little bit. And I don't have any red to deal with it. So I'm going to take advantage of my snazzy power. One thing I like about this game is how the power kind of changes up your strategy. So what I'm going to do is I am going to use my summoner card, really milking that power, taking another green, plenty of green in this card, so that I'm going to use that power twice, the Prism Staff power, to get rid of these 2 cards. One, Prophecy, which is to look at which describe the next cards, but that's just going to go in a discard and put a candle in the discard. Whew. Boy, that is not... usually the game doesn't put that much pressure on me. Anyway, so we got another green, whatever, and a Luminous Flux. So just to let you know what Luminous Flux does, toss in the hollow to discard 1 shadow card from any door. So kind of a mini version of one of the shadow clearings. But it is the card that I need to light the beacon. So I'm probably not going to use it to light the beacon, get rid of it, and then cycle it through the deck. All right, so now the game is going to be a little bit kinder to me. Thank you, game. All right, so next turn, let's just go ahead and get rid of that green card again to get rid of a card on the side, just to kind of keep myself clear. And moves is always a suboptimal thing you don't want to be doing too much in a game, but I need to be at red for various things. Let's see what I get. Let's see, do I get another red? Okay, purples I can use for +1 action and a summon. That's good. Toss in a hollow, take any 1 card from the hollow into your hand. Okay, so all of those reds that are in there, going to have a use for them right now. See what I get. We get 1 shadow on that side and 1 shadow on the purple side, which is... everything has 1 card each, so I have a lot of room to breathe now. Let's go ahead and use this right now. This is not an action. I'm going to toss that into the pile over here and add a red card. That is that's 2. Discard this because with the Prism of Clarity, that is not an action, and I discard that to do +1 actions. So now I have 4 actions to do what I need to do. And so let's go ahead and just abuse this summoner power. It's really good, and there's a lot of cards in the discard. So that is 1 action right there, drawing from the discard. 2 action, drawing from the discard. 3, we have our 3rd relic. The 3rd relic is the Oil of Evermore. What do I get to do with this thing? As an action, you may discard a red card to draw 2 fewer cards when shadows fall. So it definitely slows this down. More important if I would start it at a higher level. So that's okay. And I now have 3 out of the 4 relics. That's a really good pace. So the game did attack me with shadow, but for the most part, weathered that, and I'm in a good position. I have 1 more action. Let's go ahead and see if I can get that yellow started. I have a pluck. So pluck says, toss in a hollow to let the current player draw any 1 card from the discard pile into their hand. Sure, let's go ahead and use that right now because I know that I have at least 1 yellow card out of 4. So there's only a few cards left over here. So let's go ahead and just draw them out. We got, that's very, very handy. And that's also very handy for the action. All right, we have a little bit of a build-up over there. And so I haven't really done too much with the shadows over the last couple of turns. So you're going to see the build-up. And in a couple turns, this will become very unmanageable. All right, so this might not be the smartest move, but I want to demonstrate the game and let people see more power. So let's go ahead. We're going to... and I also have, I'm about to run out of the deck anyway, get rid of the discard. So this summer is going to become that much less useful. So let's go ahead and use an action to get rid of the summoner and bring on the bestower. The bestower is going to show up at their particular door, which is the red door. The bestower's power is pass cards to other players of your current door for free at any time, so they can loose up the hand management. In solo, toss 2 cards into the hollow at any time to draw 1 card from it. All right, so I have these two cards that I want to keep, these two cards I can get rid of. Luminous Flux is a dangerous card to get rid of, but I know that there's Luminous Flux in the deck still. So let's go ahead and toss those two cards in here and dig out this card. So now I am 3 out of the 4 cards that I need in order to do what I got to do. So that was not an action. So that was just the one action in order to change characters. I have a second action over here. My third action, I'm going to draw a card. I have the Luminous Flux. I better not get rid of it. Cool. So I only need one card. And then I'm set up. I'm very happy about that. So then I draw 2 cards. Another Luminous Flux and a Shadowbind. So the Shadowbind, I have to get rid of one of these cards because hand size is a hard limit of 5. Toss in a hollow to put 2 shadow cards from one door into the hollow. I want to keep these around. So let's go ahead and get rid of the red and loosen the pressure up there. And I have 2 Luminous Fluxes, so I'm not going to need both of them. All right, so I've run out of cards. I'm going to reshuffle this, and I move this along. I'm playing that standard game. Maybe next time I'll play Epic. I say that might be tempting fate because this deck is a lot thinner because of all the cards that have gone in the hollow. All right, so we have 1 purple shadow and 2 purple shadow. All right, I only need the 1 Luminous Flux, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. 1 Luminous Flux, put that in the discard and get this one going in the discard as well. Maybe I'll go ahead and summon that one back up. You know what? Look where I'm at. Use an action to bring back the summoner because I'm at the yellow. And that card that I just put in discard, I'm going to pull it back up. And the next turn, I have exactly what I need to get rid of that last relic and get out of here. So we got 1. Oh, sorry about that. And 2. I got my 4 yellow cards. I definitely set that up. I feel like I earned that. And I get the Lumenstone. Lumenstone says you may discard a card at any time to move any 1 pawn anywhere. So a little bit of movement manipulation. I love the Dispatcher. So I love that power. Speaking of the Dispatcher. Okay, so I am at this space right now. I only have 2 actions left. So we have 1, 2, 3. I got to go all the way up there. Let's see if we could take the express train. I'm going to move here. And for my third action of the turn, I am going to swap out the summoner and play the phase shift, a place shifter. As an action, move 1 pawn, even your own anywhere. Solo, you may move for free. There's an old family saying, it's free, give me 3. So I'm going to go ahead and move right there for free. And I'm going to use this Luminous Flux for free. Play at any time, not an action. Woo! Light the beacon. Victory. Review time. You saw how quickly it plays. It puts together so much of that long-term, short-term tension that you get in these crisis management games. So you had the crisis of the shadow. You see how cards kind of pile into each other, create that crisis moment that I had to react to. So balancing the crises that occur on the board with the resources in my hand is a really fun little challenge. And as I pointed out at the beginning, this is a really small package for that challenge to come in. I think the game is like $20-ish or something, which is a very reasonable price for the experience. And the main aspect over here is, of course, this deck of cards, which is really cleverly implemented. Having them as the player cards and the bad thing that happens to you is just a really clever thing. You have times where it's like, okay, I need cards, so let me go ahead and boot them into the discard pile with my short-term cleaning action so that when I draw them next turn, I'm more likely to and put my set together. Just like little strategic choices like that are really well done. And it's just a really short play time, really easy to teach because there's not that many actions. So as a filler, I think this one works. My concern with this one is the replayability aspects. Are you going to get that, play after 4, 5, 6, 10 times? It's one of those games that's so short, you're going to want to play it a number of times. I'm a little bit iffy on that one for the following reason. So when you have those type of crisis management games, like a Pandemic or a Forbidden Island, there is this tactical movement that happens in those other games. In Pandemic, you have a board of 48 spaces, so there's plenty of places to go. In a Forbidden game, you have a layout of tiles, and they manipulate and they disappear, so they can create different pathways. So that adds to the tactical puzzle of the game. This game doesn't have that at all. You just have the closing doors, which is, adds an okay timer, but it doesn't change your movement tactics. They're trying to trade that tactical movement for a little bit more of a up hand management experience. Is that trade-off one-to-one? Are you getting the same kind of fun? I don't really think that. So as much fun as I have with this game, and I'm happy to play if it comes out on the table, I don't know if it's going to be something that I'm going to seek out, especially as I've already played 4 or 5 games of this, and I think I got the idea. Still, it's very solid. Recommended to take a look. Matt Leacock, Ben Pinchback, Matt Ritter are veteran designers. You see the veteran craftsmanship in this game, so you're going to get a good time that you'll enjoy at least a couple of times if you play the 4 doors. This is Jason with the One Stop Co-op Shop. Marty, we'll see you at the next stop.